to be fixed, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that shit cheap, and I am tired of the shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of the shit.
Back a little bit. You can't want to be the villain. You can't pride yourself in being the villain, and then you lose, and all of a sudden you succumb to those emotions.
What started as another regular WNBA game quickly turned into one of the biggest basketball stories of the week. A tense finish, an emotional reaction, and strong comments from one of the most recognizable voices in sports media pushed Angel Reese back into the national spotlight. Fans across social media immediately began sharing clips, debating what happened, and taking sides. Some believed Reese simply let the pressure of the game get the best of her, while others argued that professional athletes have to stay composed no matter how emotional the moment becomes. The discussion spread far beyond one game, becoming a conversation about leadership, accountability, and how star players handle difficult situations. Then Stephen A. Smith entered the debate with his own opinion, and his comments quickly became just as talked about as the incident itself. His response added another layer to an already heated conversation, with supporters praising his honesty while critics felt he was too harsh. Within hours, basketball fans everywhere were discussing the same questions. Did Reese simply lose her cool in a frustrating moment, or did the situation reveal a bigger issue? Either way, the incident became one of the most talked about stories in the WNBA.
It's not about black and white, it's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA.
The Chicago Sky have faced a challenging season, with tough losses making it difficult to build momentum. Although Angel Reese has continued to post strong individual statistics, the team has struggled to turn those performances into consistent victories. That frustration was easy to see during a close matchup against the Washington Mystics. The game stayed competitive until the final minute, when every possession became critical. Washington's Shakira Austin missed 2 free throws, giving Chicago a chance to take control, but Austin grabbed her own rebound and scored to give the Mystics a late lead. Reese answered with 2 made free throws to tie the game once again, keeping Chicago's hopes alive. Moments later, a disputed foul call led the Sky to challenge the play, and players gathered near the bench while coaches discussed strategy. During that timeout, Reese became visibly frustrated and knocked a clipboard from the hands of a team staff member. Cameras captured the moment immediately, and the clip spread across social media within minutes. Fans, analysts, and former players all began sharing their opinions, with some calling it an emotional reaction during a tense game while others believed it reflected poor composure under pressure. What happened on the court quickly became one of the biggest talking points in the league, drawing attention well beyond the final score. The attention only grew after the game ended. Many people expected Angel Reese to address the incident with a direct apology and move forward. Instead, she posted a message on social media explaining that the emotions of the game had gotten the better of her. She thanked Ann Crosby for understanding the situation and added that it would not happen again. Even with that statement, the reactions remained mixed. Some fans appreciated that Reese acknowledged her actions and promised to do better, while others felt the response did not fully take responsibility for what happened. Sports talk shows, podcasts, and social media pages continued discussing the incident throughout the day. Clips of the moment were viewed millions of times, and opinions were divided across the basketball community. Supporters argued that every athlete has emotional moments during close games, especially in high-pressure situations. Critics responded that star players are expected to stay composed because younger fans and teammates look up to them. What could have been a brief emotional moment instead became one of the biggest WNBA stories of the week, keeping Reese at the center of another major conversation. As the debate continued, ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith shared his opinion, and his remarks quickly gained national attention. Smith said that professional athletes are expected to control their emotions, especially during critical moments, because their actions are always being watched by fans, teammates, and young athletes. He argued that emotional reactions can happen in sports, but players must also accept responsibility for how they respond under pressure. During the discussion, Smith also brought up Caitlin Clark and pointed to her growing influence on the WNBA. He highlighted Clark's television ratings, sold-out arenas, merchandise sales, and ability to attract new fans to the league. According to Smith, Clark has helped bring unprecedented attention to women's basketball, making her one of the league's biggest attractions. His comments immediately sparked another round of debate online. Some viewers agreed with his assessment, saying Clark's impact has been impossible to ignore, while others felt Reese should be judged only on her own actions rather than constantly being compared with another player. Regardless of which side fans supported, Smith's comments ensured that the discussion remained one of the biggest stories in sports, with basketball fans continuing to debate leadership, professionalism, and the growing spotlight surrounding the WNBA. 5. Stephen A. Smith said the discussion was about much more than one emotional moment during a close game. In his view, every professional athlete represents not only themselves but also their teammates, coaches, organization, and the league every time they step onto the court. He argued that moments of frustration can happen to anyone, but the way players respond afterward often shapes how fans remember them. Smith also returned to the topic of Caitlin Clark, saying her performances and popularity have helped bring millions of new viewers to the WNBA. He pointed to higher television ratings, increased attendance, stronger merchandise sales, and greater national attention as examples of the league's recent growth. According to Smith, players should focus on improving their game, supporting their teammates, and embracing the opportunity to help women's basketball continue growing. His comments quickly spread across television, YouTube, and social media, creating another wave of discussion. Some fans agreed with his criticism and believed accountability is part of being a professional athlete. Others felt he was too harsh and argued that Reese deserves the chance to learn from difficult moments without being constantly compared to other stars. No matter which side people supported, one thing became clear. The incident had grown far beyond a single game and turned into another major talking point around the WNBA. As the season continues, fans will be watching closely to see how Reese responds on the court, how the Chicago Sky handle the challenges ahead, and whether the focus shifts back to basketball instead of off-court controversy.
As the conversation continued, many basketball analysts pointed out that this moment could become an important turning point in Angel Reese's career. Every young star eventually faces criticism, but the players who build long successful careers are usually the ones who learn from difficult moments instead of allowing them to define them. Reese has already shown throughout her basketball journey that she plays with passion, confidence, and emotion. Those qualities helped make her one of the biggest names in college basketball and eventually one of the most recognizable rookies in the WNBA. However, the professional level demands more than talent alone. Every reaction is recorded, replayed, and discussed by millions of people within minutes. Coaches, teammates, league officials, and fans all expect star players to remain composed even during the most frustrating situations. Many former athletes explained that emotional moments happen in every sport, but the difference between good players and great leaders is how they respond afterward. If Reese can take this experience, learn from it, and channel that same competitive fire into her performances, many believe this controversy could eventually become nothing more than a learning experience rather than a lasting reputation. The next few weeks may reveal more about her growth than any stat line ever could. Meanwhile, the spotlight surrounding Caitlin Clark continued growing for completely different reasons. While conversations about Reese focused on emotional reactions, discussions about Clark centered on her impact on the league itself. Television ratings remained strong whenever Indiana Fever games appeared on national broadcasts, ticket demand continued increasing in cities across the country, and merchandise connected to Clark stayed among the league's best sellers. Many league executives openly acknowledged that the WNBA was experiencing record levels of attention, with Clark playing a major role in attracting new audiences. Stephen A. Smith argued that this should be viewed as an opportunity rather than a source of division. He encouraged players across the league to embrace the additional exposure because greater interest benefits everyone involved, from athletes and coaches to franchises and sponsors. Basketball analysts also noted that rivalries naturally create excitement, but they should ultimately be driven by competition on the court instead of unnecessary controversy away from the game. As more fans continue following the WNBA than ever before, every major storyline receives national attention, making professionalism and leadership even more important for every player wearing a league uniform. In the end, this story became about much more than one heated moment during a close basketball game. It sparked larger conversations about leadership, accountability, emotional control, and the responsibilities that come with being one of the faces of a growing professional league. Angel Reese now has an opportunity to answer the criticism the same way every great athlete eventually does, through consistent performances and positive leadership on the court. Stephen A. Smith's comments may have divided opinions, but they also reminded fans how closely every action is examined in today's sports world. At the same time, Caitlin Clark's continued rise has shown just how much attention women's basketball now receives from national media and casual sports fans alike. Every game, every interview, and every emotional reaction quickly becomes part of a much larger conversation. As the season moves forward, supporters of both players will be watching closely to see how each responds to the challenges ahead. The best outcome for the league would be seeing both stars focus on basketball, continue improving their games, and help push the WNBA to even greater levels of popularity in the months and years to come.